The Void Reapers had earned their reputation across 17 star systems. No prey had ever escaped their hunt. No species had ever made them hesitate. They moved through space like death itself, their obsidian ships cutting through the darkness, with predatory grace. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, his 4 eyes scanning the tactical display. The target ship floated helplessly before them, its engines dead, its hull scarred from their initial assault. Another successful hunt was moments from completion. "Life signs?" Vex asked, his voice a low rumble that made the deck plates vibrate. "Single, occupant commander," reported Cole from the sensor station. "Unknown species. Appears to be from the Outer Rim territories." Vex's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. Outer Rim species were often the most interesting prey. They fought with desperation, that provided excellent sport before the inevitable end. "Boarding team, prepare for extraction," Vex commanded. "I want this one alive for questioning before we finish the hunt." The Void Reapers had perfected the art of terror over centuries. They stood 3 meters tall, their exoskeletons gleaming like polished armor. Their natural weapons could tear through steel, and their ships carried technology that made entire civilizations surrender at first sight. Fear was their greatest weapon, and they wielded it with surgical precision. The boarding party moved through, the damaged vessel with practiced efficiency. They found their quarry in what appeared to be the ship's cargo hold, sitting calmly among scattered crates and debris. The creature was small by galactic standards, barely 2 meters tall, with pale skin and strange forward-facing eyes. "Bring him," Vex ordered as the boarding team returned. The prisoner was escorted to the interrogation chamber aboard the Reaper flagship. Vex studied the alien through the transparasteel barrier. The creature called itself Jack, according to the Universal Translator, and claimed to be something called a human from a planet called Earth. "You understand why you are here," Vex began, his voice amplified to shake the chamber walls. "You have trespassed in Reaper territory. The penalty is death, but first, you will tell us about your species. How many of your kind exist? Where are your colonies? What weapons do you possess?" Jack looked up at him with those peculiar eyes. There was no fear there, which was unusual but not unprecedented. Some species required more convincing than others. "You know," Jack said conversationally, "you guys really remind me of something from back home." Vex's 4 eyes narrowed. "Explain." "Well, you're big, scary, got all those sharp bits sticking out everywhere. Real intimidating presence." Jack paused, seeming to consider his words carefully. "You know what we called creatures like you on Earth?" "What?" Vex demanded. "Bugs." The word hung in the air like a physical thing. Around the chamber, the other Reapers shifted uneasily. No species had ever compared them to something so insignificant. "You dare mock the Void Reapers?" Vex's voice rose to a thunderous roar that would have sent most creatures cowering. But Jack didn't cower. Instead, something extraordinary happened. He laughed. It started as a small chuckle, barely audible over the hum of the ship's systems. But then it grew. The sound bubbled up from somewhere deep inside the human, gaining strength and volume until it filled the chamber with rich, uninhibited mirth. The Reapers had heard many sounds in their long careers as hunters. Screams of terror, pleas for mercy, final gasps of the dying. But this sound was different. This sound was wrong, because there was no fear in it. None at all. Jack laughed like he was genuinely amused, like the situation was the funniest thing he had encountered in years. He laughed like he was surrounded by friends instead of the most feared hunters in the galaxy. He laughed like the Void Reapers were nothing more than an elaborate joke. "Oh, man," Jack gasped between fits of laughter. "You guys are serious about this whole intimidation thing, aren't you? The dramatic lighting, the scary voices, the whole we are death incarnate routine. It's like you watched every villain in human history and decided to combine all their greatest hits." Vex felt something he had never experienced before, a cold sensation spreading through his carapace, making his limbs feel weak and uncertain. The human's laughter seemed to strip away layers of carefully constructed terror, revealing something beneath that the Reapers had never acknowledged. They were mortal. They could be hurt. They could be defeated. And this small, soft creature knew it. The thing about humans, Jack continued, his laughter finally subsiding into an amused grin, is that we've been dealing with monsters our entire existence. Every nightmare, every predator, everything that goes bump in the night. We've faced them all, and you know what we learned? He stood up slowly, and somehow, despite being half their height and possessing no visible weapons, the Reapers took a step back. They're all just scared animals pretending to be something bigger than they are. Jack's smile never wavered as he looked directly at Vex, and scared animals can always be put down. For the first time in their species' history, the Void Reapers felt what their prey had always felt when facing them. They felt fear. And in the echo of human laughter, they finally understood that they had made a terrible mistake. Earth would remember this insult, and Earth would come calling.